All right, so get this. Listeners send in a bunch of stuff about these supposed time travelers from Japan.
Time travelers from Japan.
Yeah, apparently the future is leaking.
Leaking.
Yeah, and it's leaking Japanese.
Fascinating.
Now, we're not saying you should start learning how to, like, fold origami cranes for the robot overlords or anything.
Not yet, at least.
Right, but these stories,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're kind of like a crash course in what were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
Exactly.
Well, it is fascinating how these narratives sort of tread this line between genuine belief and, shall we say, a healthy appreciation for the absurd.
The absurd.
Yeah.
Like, we've got YJ, right?
Right.
Who, like, bursts onto the scene back in 2018.
2018.
Claiming to be from the year 2075.
Oh, wow.
A futuristic tourist, if you will.
A futuristic tourist.
Only this tourist chooses to announce their arrival on...
Let me guess, Instagram.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, the irony.
Right.
It does raise some questions.
Yeah. About the strategic planning of this alleged time traveler.
Yeah.
One might assume a certain level of discretion would be paramount in such a situation.
Right.
You'd think.
Like if you're on a secret mission from the future.
Secret mission.
Maybe broadcasting it on social media isn't like the best move.
Unless, of course, the mission is to become a Twitter influencer.
Right.
Follow me for exclusive insights into the year 2075.
Yep.
Sponsored by flying car manufacturers.
Maybe they were just early adopters of the whole personal brand thing.
Personal brand time travel.
YJ, the time-traveling influencer, has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
It certainly captures the zeitgeist.
It does.
But let's not forget the substance of YJ's claims.
Yeah.
I mean, they did offer predictions. Some seemingly accurate, others, well, let's just say open to interpretation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the whole satellite falling to Earth thing.
Yes. The satellite.
Right, yay. Spooky coincidence.
Spooky coincidence.
Or just YJ playing the odds.
Playing the odds.
I mean, space junk does have a habit of coming back down to visit.
It does indeed.
Right.
Statistically speaking, the re-entry of space debris is not an uncommon occurrence.
Right.
However, the timing of YJ's prediction, in close proximity to the Tiangong-1 incident,
The Tiangong-1.
certainly fuels the flames of speculation.
Right. It's like, hey, I predicted a satellite would fall and one did.
You see.
Never mind that hundreds of satellites are orbiting Earth at any given time.
Exactly.
It's a time traveler equivalent of predicting the sun will rise tomorrow.
A rather safe bet, one might say.
Very safe.
But it's the other predictions that truly pique our interest.
Yeah.
YJ suggested that electronic books would completely replace paper books.
Oh, no.
A future devoid of that old book smell.
Say it isn't so.
Say it isn't so.
Right. I mean, what's a time traveler without a good old-fashioned dog-eared paperback to stash in their temporal satchel?
Temporal satchel.
It just doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
Perhaps in the future, paper books become prized artifacts.
Oh.
Collector's items from a bygone era.
Oh, okay.
Imagine first edition Kindle.
Oh, wow.
Fetching a small fortune at auction.
Oh, the irony.
The irony.
But let's move on to our next alleged visitor from the future, shall we?
Please.
This one goes by the cryptic moniker 2062.
2062.
Straight to the point. No time for pleasantries.
Oh, yes, 2062.
2062.
Emerging from the depths of the Japanese forum, too. This individual opted for a more, shall we say, understated entrance?
Understated.
Understated.
And yet with a flair for the dramatic, predicting 2 major earthquakes.
2.
That's not exactly subtle, is it?
No, it's not.
I don't care.
Indeed, 2062 claimed to know the dates of both the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami.
Wow.
And the 2016 Kumamoto earthquake.
Okay.
The latter even included a specific date.
Oh.
April 15th.
Wow. Talk about confidence.
Talk about confidence.
Right. It's like they were placing bets on a cosmic roulette wheel.
A cosmic roulette wheel.
Put it all on April 15th. I've seen the future. And it's shaky.
It certainly raises questions.
It does.
About the nature of time travel and the potential for exploiting knowledge of future events.
Right.
But let's not forget the cryptic message 2062 left before the Tohoku earthquake.
Oh, right.
Yamani no body.
Yamani no body.
Yes.
Climb to the mountain.
Climb to the mountain.
What is that, a cryptic clue from a time-traveling scavenger hunt?
It does sound like it, doesn't it?
Seek ye the highest peak, and there you shall find. Well, nobody, apparently.
One can't help but wonder if 2062 was attempting to warn people?
Uh-huh.
Or perhaps simply reveling in the mystique of their alleged knowledge.
Maybe they were just really into hiking.
Hiking.
Yeah.
Before a tsunami.
Hey, folks, I'm from the future. And trust me, the view from the top of Mount Fuji is breathtaking. Especially when you know a tsunami is about to hit.
It does add a certain, shall we say, morbid element to the whole enjoy the scenery suggestion.
Morbid for sure.
But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of 2062's story is their sudden disappearance.
Oh.
Allegedly apprehended by the Star Police.
Wait, Star Police?
Star Police.
Is that like the intergalactic version of the Time Cops?
Time Cops.
Like, you violated the Temporal Prime Directive. Prepare to be apprehended by officers of the space-time continuum.
One can only imagine the bureaucratic nightmare.
I know, right?
Of enforcing intergalactic time travel regulations.
Oh, absolutely.
Fill out Form 347B in triplicate and report to the temporal holding cell for processing.
And what kind of punishment do you get for messing with the space-time continuum anyway?
That is the question, isn't it?
Community service in the Andromeda Galaxy. Forced attendance at a time traveler convention in Alpha Centauri.
The possibilities are as vast as the universe itself.
The possibilities are endless.
Endless indeed.
All right, so we've got secret Twitter missions, cryptic mountain messages, and intergalactic law enforcement.
It is quite a story.
It's enough to make your head spin faster than a time traveler's vortex.
Indeed, these narratives, even in their absurdity, offer a glimpse into the enduring fascination with time travel and the human desire to make sense of the seemingly inexplicable.
It's like we're all searching for that cosmic cheat code.
Cosmic cheat codes.
Way to peek behind the curtain of time and maybe even rewrite a few chapters along the way.
Rewrite a few chapters. It's funny, though, isn't it?
What's that?
How these time traveler tales, for all their, cosmic grandiosity, they often stumble on the most, mundane of details.
Right.
It's like they're crafting these elaborate narratives about the future. But they forget to consider, the logistics.
Right. It was like they got so caught up in the I'm from the future bit.
I'm from the future.
That they forgot to think about the how and the why.
The how and the why. Take Weige, for example. What? Claiming to be on a secret mission from the future.
Right.
But then they proceed to tweet about it. Answer random questions from strangers. And only follow NASA on Twitter.
NASA.
It's a secret mission with a very public relations problem.
Seriously. It's like they walked out of a time machine and straight into a social media marketing seminar.
Right.
First rule of time travel: build your online presence.
Perhaps in the future, social media clout is the ultimate currency.
Oh, can you imagine?
Even for time travelers.
Yeah.
Imagine sponsored posts about the latest hoverboard models.
Oh, wow.
Or exclusive discounts on temporal relocation services.
Follow me for a chance to win a trip to the year 3000. Must be 18 years or older. Void were prohibited by the laws of space and time.
It does paint a rather amusing picture, doesn't it?
It really does.
And then there's 2062.
Oh, yeah? 2062?
With their cryptic message, Yamani nobody.
Yamani nobody.
Climb to the mountain, they say.
Right.
As if a tsunami is just a minor inconvenience.
Right.
On the way to a scenic vista.
It's like they were handing out travel brochures for a post-apocalyptic hiking tour.
Post-apocalyptic hiking tour.
Experience the thrill of a lifetime. Witness the devastating power of nature, and then enjoy a refreshing mountain breeze.
Refreshing mountain breeze.
Oxygen masks not included.
Oxygen masks not included.
Right.
One can't help but wonder if 2062 even considered the practicality of their advice.
Yeah, how are people supposed to get up there?
Exactly.
Were they envisioning a future where everyone had access to personal helicopters?
Or teleportation devices?
Maybe they just assumed we'd all be wearing those jetpacks we were promised in the 50s.
The jetpacks? Just hop on your jetpack and zoom up to the nearest peak. Easy peasy.
It does highlight a certain disconnect.
A disconnect.
Between the grand claims of these time travelers and the realities of human behavior.
Yes.
Did they really expect people to react rationally in the face of impending disaster?
Impending disaster?
All because a cryptic message appeared on an online forum.
Right. It's like they forgot that humans are, human.
Right.
We panic. We make questionable decisions.
Yeah.
And we sometimes forget to pack snacks for a mountain climb, even if a tsunami is on its way.
We do.
We do.
Maybe that's part of the appeal of these stories, though, right?
No, tell me more.
They offer a glimpse into a world where the rules of logic and reason don't always apply.
Right.
Where anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Even time travel via Twitter.
It's like a mental vacation from the mundane.
It is.
A chance to indulge in the absurdity of it all.
Right, because let's face it.
Yeah.
Sometimes reality is just too well real.
Indeed, and in a world that can often feel overwhelming and unpredictable,
Yeah.
a little dose of time travel absurdity might be just what we need.
Okay, so we've had our fun with the more outlandish aspects of these time traveler claims.
We have.
But let's shift gears for a moment
Okay.
and talk about the cultural context.
The cultural context.
We've mentioned that Japan seems to have a particular fondness for time travel narratives.
They do.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a reflection of Japan's really unique cultural landscape.
Okay.
This place where ancient traditions and futuristic technologies coexist.
Right.
Sometimes harmoniously, sometimes in a state of delightful tension.
Right. It's like they've got one foot in the past
The past.
and the other foot firmly planted in the future.
The future.
All while balancing on a high-speed bullet train.
Precisely. And within that cultural dynamic, time travel becomes a very powerful metaphor. A way to explore the tensions between tradition and progress, the yearning for a simpler past, and the anxieties about an uncertain future.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're Japan. We can build robots that serve T&D, write haiku.
Haiku robots.
But why not throw in a few time travelers for good measure?
It does add a certain layer of intrigue to an already fascinating cultural tapestry.
It does.
And let's not forget the influence of Japanese pop culture.
Oh, right.
With its abundance of anime manga.
Yeah.
And video games that explore time travel themes.
Right. Think about all the classic shows and movies.
Oh, yeah.
Dorleman with his time-traveling robot cat.
Doraemon.
Steins. Gate with its mind-bending paradoxes.
Mind-bending.
Your Name with its bittersweet romance across timelines. It's like time travel is woven into the fabric of their entertainment.
And within those narratives, we see a range of approaches to time travel, from lighthearted adventures to thought-provoking explorations of the human condition.
It's like they're saying time travel can be fun and whimsical.
Fun and whimsical.
But it can also be a powerful tool for introspection.
Introspection.
A way to confront our fears,
Yeah.
our regrets.
Our regrets.
And maybe even find a little redemption along the way.
And perhaps that's why these time traveler tales, even the more absurd ones, resonate so strongly with audiences.
Yeah, I can see that.
They offer a glimpse into a world where anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Where the past can be revisited, the future can be glimpsed.
Right.
And maybe we can learn something about ourselves in the process.
All right, so we've explored the cultural context, the psychological appeal.
The pathological appeal.
And even the comedic side of these time traveler claims.
Comedic indeed.
But let's bring it back to you, our listener.
Our listener.
What stands out to you in all of this?
To you.
What's the so what moment for you?
What intrigues me is how these narratives, even in their absurdity, can spark genuine curiosity and critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
It's like they're challenging us to suspend our disbelief for a moment.
Okay.
And consider the possibilities, however improbable they may seem.
Right. It's like a mental exercise.
A mental exercise.
A way to flex our imaginations.
You flex our imaginations.
And explore the what-ifs of time travel.
The what-ifs.
What if we could go back and change a decision?
Change a decision.
What if we could get a sneak peek at the future?
Sneak peek.
What if Twitter really is the key to unlocking the secrets of time travel?
It does raise some interesting questions, doesn't it?
It really does.
And even if we ultimately dismiss these claims as hoaxes or elaborate fantasies, the process of engaging with them can be intellectually stimulating. It's like a mental puzzle, trying to decipher the motivations, the inconsistencies. And a sheer audacity of these time traveler tales.
Okay, so we've established that these time traveler claims are, shall we say, open to interpretation.
Open to interpretation.
So let's play along for a moment.
Okay.
If you could hop in a hypothetical time machine.
Hypothetical time machine.
What year would you visit and why?
What year?
Would you go back to witness a historical event?
Historical event.
Try to right a wrong?
Right or wrong?
Or maybe just get a glimpse of what the future holds.
It's a question that invites us to consider our own values, our curiosities, and perhaps even our regrets.
Our regrets.
If we had the power to manipulate time, how would we use it?
Right.
And what would the consequences be?
It's a bit of a mind-bending thought experiment, isn't it?
It is.
But even if time travel remains firmly in the realm of fiction.
The realm of fiction.
These stories remind us that we're all time travelers. in a sense.
In a sense.
Every choice we make, every action we take,
choices and actions,
shapes the trajectory of our lives.
the trajectory.
And the world around us.
So in a way, we're all writing our own time travel narrative.
Our own narrative.
Day by day, decision by decision.
And perhaps that's the most empowering takeaway from all of this.
Empowering indeed.
We may not be able to control the past or predict the future.
No.
But we have the power to shape the present. And create a future worth traveling to.
Beautifully said.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mysteries of time.
Mysteries of time.
Technology and the boundless possibilities of human imagination.
Keep questioning, keep exploring.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll all be sharing our time travel stories, not just on Twitter or forums,
right,
but in person across the vast expanse of time and space.
Okay, so we've really dug deep into these Japanese time traveler tales, right?
We have.
And unearthed this treasure trove of the absurd.
A treasure trove.
Right, unveiling the
what?
The questionable logic.
Questionable logic.
And hilarious inconsistencies baked into their claims.
And yet amidst the laughter.
The laughter.
And the head scratching.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how these narratives, however outlandish, they tap into pretty fundamental human desires.
Right, the longing for control.
Control.
In a world that so often feels chaotic.
Chaotic.
And unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
It's like we're all secretly hoping for that cosmic rewind button.
A rewind button.
Or at least a sneak peek at the next chapter. Yes. And these time travelers stories, they offer that tantalizing possibility.
Tantalizing.
However fleeting.
However fleeting.
Right.
They allow us to imagine a world where we can undo mistakes.
Undo mistakes.
Outsmart disasters.
Outsmart disasters.
And maybe even snag a winning lottery ticket.
Oh, wow.
Based on future knowledge.
Speaking of future knowledge, right?
Yes. Speaking of...
These time travelers...
The time travelers...
They seem to have a knack for predicting the obvious, don't they?
The obvious.
Like YJ's proclamation that electronic books will replace paper.
Replace paper?
It's not exactly a leap of faith to imagine a future where screens dominate our lives even more than they do now.
Indeed, it's a prediction that reflects a certain anxiety about technological advancement.
Anxiety.
A fear of losing touch with the tangible world of ink and paper.
Ink and paper.
And yet, ironically, it's precisely that fear that fuels our fascination with these stories.
It's like we're drawn to the very things that make us uneasy.
Drawn to the uneasy.
Right.
We want to hear about the future.
We do.
Even if it's a future where we're all glued to our devices and the only remaining paper books are locked away in museums.
Oh, the irony.
Perhaps that's the allure of the dystopian narrative.
The dystopian narrative.
It allows us to confront our fears in a safe environment.
A safe environment.
To explore the what-ifs.
What-ifs.
Without actually having to live through them.
And let's not forget the entertainment value of it all.
The entertainment value.
Come on. The Star Police apprehending 2062.
Yeah, the Star Police.
For revealing too much about the future.
Too much.
It's pure sci-fi gold.
Pure sci-fi gold.
It does inject a certain level of whimsy into the narrative.
Whimsy.
Right, I can't help but picture these intergalactic officers.
Intergalactic officers.
Decked out in futuristic uniforms.
Futuristic uniform.
Armed with temporal restraining devices.
Temporal restraining devices.
And issuing citations for time travel violations.
You've exceeded the speed limit of the space-time continuum, citizen.
Yeah.
Prepare to be temporally detained.
It's a reminder that even within the realm of serious speculation, there's room for a good dose of humor.
Humor.
And absurdity.
Absurdity.
So what have we learned from this deep dive into the world of Japanese time travelers?
Oh, what have we learned?
Well, for starters, it seems like the future is just as messy. And unpredictable as the present.
Unpredictable.
And even if time travel remains a fantasy.
A fantasy.
The stories we tell about it.
The stories we tell.
Reveal a lot about our hopes. Our fears.
Fears.
And our unending quest to make sense of the universe.
To make sense of it all.
And perhaps that's the most valuable takeaway of all.
The most valuable.
These narratives, they encourage us.
They encourage us.
To question.
To explore
and
us.
Never stop wondering about what might be.
What might be.
And who knows, maybe someday the line between science fiction and reality will blur even further.
Blur even further.
And we'll all have our own time-traveling tales to tell.
Our own tales.
Until then, let's enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Keep a healthy dose of skepticism handy. And remember that sometimes the most incredible journeys happen within the confines of our own imaginations.
Indeed, the universe is vast and full of mysteries.
It is.
And the best stories, like the best time travel adventures,
Yeah.
are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.